What? Joe who? Joe Exotic? Tiger Kings? Tiger Kings? What? Why is everyone making a big deal about this? So, I succumbed last night and watched the first episode of Tiger Kings with a couple of my friends. And what is going on? A couple thoughts that I had during that. Oh, this is kind of cool. Man, this dude is always strapped. He didn't just say that. Seriously? I wonder if I can grow a goatee like that. Who's this dude's mom? Maybe I should stop watching this. So why all the craze? Why is everyone so fascinated this week with Joe Exotic and the Tiger King? Let me propose this. I think what he's doing is so bizarre, and what the show portrays as being absolutely ridiculous is extremely intriguing to us right now because we're looking for something to get us out of reality. And this show is so crazy enough that it's gonna allow us to be bewildered by it. And so that way we can stop thinking about everything that's stressing us out and that the reality is of what's going on right now. I think we want something to take us out of reality. And we can do something like this. We can find a show on Netflix, we can run to this activity or that activity, and we can look for an escape. But here's what I think about escapes, is that heroes don't come from escapes. I'm not saying we can't decompress and just relax and try to not think about things, but what I'm saying is that heroes come from running into the battle, from running into the stress, from running into the difficulties that life brings. It makes me think of D-Day. When the troops are storming the beach of Normandy, I'm sure there were some guys that said, no, I can't do it, and they stayed in the boats. But then there was those who went onto the beach and started going towards the bullets, going towards the fire, going towards the enemy lines. And so what are we gonna do? Because God is asking each and every single one of us to be heroes, to be saints in religious talk. And so what are we gonna do? We're gonna run towards the battle. We're gonna run towards the stress, and we're gonna deal with that. A couple thoughts on how we do that. Number one, that we talk to people. That we talk to people about what's going on inside of all of this and are able to have deeper conversations about how we're actually feeling, rather than not wanting to talk about the difficult issues because we're concerned that if we talk about it, we're gonna just make everyone depressed. We're gonna make everyone anxious. But we have to talk about it with the people that are closest in our lives, our closest friends and our spouses and our families. Number two, we have got to pray. See, when we go into silence, everything that stresses us out and makes us anxious kind of starts flooding up. And so then we don't like to be in silence because it actually, we think that it's gonna make us more stressful. So then we just say, forget it, I'm not gonna pray, or I'm gonna make sure that I can pray with music or something because it'll make me feel good. What I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, is this. When you pray and you let all of these things come up and you say, all right, Lord, here it is for you, and let's tackle this together, then you're running into the battle with Jesus. You're running into your thoughts and into some of those darkest places of your own mind and your own heart, and then you're saying, I'm not going to be controlled by this thought, by this feeling. I'm going to let Jesus reign over my mind. I'm going to let Jesus reign over my heart. And that happens in silent prayer with the Lord Jesus. Number three, realize that you were born for this. Saint Joan of Arc, as she was going into battle, she was a young girl, and as she was going into battle, she turned to those next to her and she said, I was born for this. You and I were made for this moment in history. God knew from the beginning of creation that you and I would be born in this time, that we would be existing in this time with these circumstances, with this family, with this job, with this uncertainty, and He knew this. And we haven't known it, but He's giving you the grace necessary to be able to do the impossible, to be able to tackle the stress and the difficulties, and that's why we run into the battle. My brothers and sisters, de-stress, try to not think about it sometimes, but we can't only escape. If we run into the battle, if we run into the stress, instead of waiting each day for us to be able to get to the point to where we can decompress and just forget about things, we will then live the entirety of this whole experience trusting in the Lord, knowing that He is extremely powerful and confident that we can do this with great joy. Trust in the Lord, ask Him for that grace, and you'll be able to do the impossible. This is not an endorsement nor support of Joe Exotic and the Tiger Kings. Gotta be clear.